Chapter 1, Part 4. The Perfect Day. The soft breeze, the birds chirping, and the warmth of the sun touching the soft bed and eventually the skin of Zora made her slowly wake up. She stretches and sat up. Looking with her sleepy eyes around the room, she blinked a bit, rubbing the sleep out of her eyes. There was something different, something felt off, as she didn't hear the humming systems or distant alarms, just the sound of the wind gently blowing in her face. Taking her steps out of the bed, she felt the softness of the carpet and rubbed both her feet into it, feeling the pure comfort of it. Walking to the window in her short pants and loose pajama shirt, she saw the remarkable view of San Francisco. No rain, green parks, it all looked like a perfect garden. A smile crossed her face as she nodded to herself. Walking to the bathroom to get ready for work, in the mirror she does come to a brief stop, looking at her reflection. She touched her face, feeling her skin being perfectly soft, looking younger and healthier. Her eyes had a brief, soft green glow, but it didn't bother her. She saw the digital time in the right corner of the mirror and hurried up to get ready. After a wonderful walk through the park with a cup of warm coffee and being greeted with kindness by people, Zora arrived at the large light green and white building. The words that stood out on it stated Central Healing Spire, the place where she started her career as far as she could remember. It had been the place she dreamed as a child to work at, with no soldiers, no fog of war, or her past World War traumas. "It's gonna be a great day," Zora stated to herself, as she walked into the building. The day went through without any problem. Her staff was in perfect sync with her, and that was something she truly adored and loved. She didn't notice any bickering or ego boosting on the floor, which was, well, heavenly. "Doctor, thank you so much. I feel so much better." A patient compliments Zora for her medical skills. Zora smiled at him. "You're most welcome. And remember, don't get sick again, or no candy for you." She gave him a lollipop with a smile, hearing her colleagues and patient laugh at her silly behavior. As she moved out of her room, "Catherine, get a diagnostic of room 402. I want to know if the treatment is working." The woman next to her smiles. "Dr. Sel, the treatment you recommended worked perfectly. You are truly a role model for any new doctor in this hospital." A grin appears on Zora. "Oh, stop. I just did what came to mind as the best solution." This feeling of success was slowly becoming an addictive sense for her. Perhaps her pride was feeding on it. She would take note of it and pay attention to it. Sitting in a cafe reading her favorite book, The Odyssey, as she takes a sip of her cup of coffee. The sailor ate the mysterious fruit and forgot everything from their home, families, and even the desire to return, as they were content to stay on the island that felt like a dream, a perfect utopia. She laughed to herself. How silly! Who would be so blinded by being fooled like that? But the same moment she heard a faint cracking static sound. She looked around towards a park behind the cafe. "Zora?" The voice came from her side, as Zora saw a young woman. "Becca!" She placed the book down, stood up from her chair, and gave her a big hug. "Hun, how are you?" Giving a hug back. "I'm perfectly fine. I hope I'm not too late. Don't want my Bessie to miss me." Becca smiled. Zora shook her head and sat down. "Nah, you're perfectly on time. Heck, even if you were not, it is a perfect sunny day to enjoy a cup of coffee outside," she laughed softly. After some good and solid conversation talking about life, careers, and boys, of course, Zora suddenly grabbed her head with one hand. Images rushed through her, seeing Zora's face, bloodied and screaming for a status report, as another image of the Alkar blowing up appears. But a soft hand touched Zora's hand as she looked at Becca like green eyes, as her eyes intensified, and a rush of peace and calmness poured back into her, washing away the memory of the Alkar. Taking a deep breath, "Sorry, dear, I just need a second," Zora tried to explain the situation as Becca just smiled at her. "No worries. It has been a long day. Perhaps go home and lay down," Becca suggested, letting go of her hand as her soft green eyes returned. Zora lost in her thoughts for a moment and nodded towards Becca, letting a smile appear on her face. "You are right. I just need some rest after a day of hard work and helping all those sick people. They need me tomorrow as well. Thanks for being here with me, Becca. It has been such a great journey for me." She placed her hands on those of Becca and smiled warmly at her. Giving a soft nod in Zora's direction, Becca smiled now also. "I think you have done that all by yourself." She took a deep breath, looking at the park at their side, as she thought, "Why would I ever want to leave a paradise like this? It's so perfect and peaceful."